President Trump goes into hostile territory with a crowd which you never know if it's going to be an actual Republican crowd or a bunch of phony Republicans. And even I got nervous a few times when they would go to people in the crowd. They say, well, this is someone who's never voted, but they're leaning Republican. You're like, yeah, right, this is going to be another setup question. Yet none of them were. The left is melting down that CNN even allowed President Trump to defend himself, to talk about his policies. He's the leading Republican candidate right now for President of the United States. The fact that he was even allowed to discuss the allegations against him, the legal challenges against him, what he's faced. The way the media not only hates Donald Trump, but they are scared to death of you. So when they saw the room applauding and cheering, take a listen to Joe Scarborough, Bite 46.
What I saw last night, at least, was as chilling as anything I've seen on television since January the 6th.
And what he was referring to there was not just President Trump's and his performance, which, by the way, he did a great job. You went into hostile territory and owned them. He embarrassed CNN, embarrassed Kaitlan Collins. She tried to, maybe Don Lemon was right with all the cutting off and trying to jump in all the time, right? And asking the same thing and just, you don't like the answer, so what?
They kept putting up on the Chiron, the graphics, like the lower third text, things that they were like thinking that President Trump said that was egregious, that all conservatives would agree with. Even the fact of him saying, I know they put doesn't want to proclaim that Ukraine should win the war, that kind of thing. But this was even, Trump calls overturning of Roe versus Wade a great victory, in quotes. That was like the controversial headline. And it's like, yeah, no kidding. Why wouldn't he think that? Why wouldn't everyone who watched this, who was potentially a conservative, which is probably the most people watching, except for those who just wanted to get mad, watch this and not go, of course, to his audience and to himself, of course it's a great victory. Under the circumstances, even when I disagreed with him, he answered questions in the best possible way. I wasn't expecting that, and I forgot about how entertaining it can be. And I think there's a lot of people who saw that. And when you have other people running against him, it's going to get really, really tough. Really tough on the Republican side, because no one can really control a camera like President Trump.
What I think that they failed the biggest on, what really outrages the most, it's not that just Donald Trump performed great, is that the Republican audience, they're shocked that they like Donald Trump, but yet they publish polls about it. So it's like they have to see it in real time to remind themselves that we're all out there. We exist. We look like normal people. We're not all insurrectionists. We don't all dress in camo every day and carry guns necessarily, or protest even. But there's a lot more of us than you want to acknowledge. And that's what scares them, because that means we can actually win.